What would be your advice to Nigerians, especially when they want to get domestic staff like drivers and others?
All right, thank you very much for that question. So there are a number of things that needs to be done. That needs to be done when um, you want to hire domestic staff, be it housemaid, driver, security guard, or a laundry guy, and so on. First, you need to do a thorough background check. You need to know a lot about them. They need to have a guarantor. Um, and to do this, you can always seek assistance from the Central Criminal Registry of the First Criminal Investigation Department in Alagbon or any other police station around to do this background check. Um, Once this is done and they are aware that they have been thoroughly checked, it keeps them in check too. They don't just think about harming you or committing any criminal offense within your premises or against you. And it's also important to check their work history. You need to know why they left the last place they worked at. If possible, contact their last employer to know and let them know you are doing these things. It also keeps them in check. So that would open a whole lot of things. Recently, we arrested somebody who left her last place of work because she stole. She wasn't even sent packing. She stole and ran away. So if this work history had been checked, it would have been discovered that she was a serial thief. Also, to achieve all of these things, one could decide to use recruitment agencies. We have some reputable recruitment agencies that will do all of these things for you. In case you are thinking that it's too cumbersome, how do I do background check? How do I check work history? So you could use some reputable recruitment agencies. They will do all this for you, and it will make your job a whole lot easier. And besides all of this, it's also important to do your personal interviews. So a recruitment agency brings one or two people to you to say, oh, these are the people we find qualified for the position you want. But still do your personal interviews. And when you do your personal interviews, I urge people, there is no scientific basis for this. I always urge people to follow their hunch. That thing people say that, oh, my spirit just doesn't go well with this person. It works. If your spirit doesn't go with somebody, don't take the person. And you can only know that through the personal interview. So get to speak with them, and if your spirit works with them, then you take them. And if eventually you take somebody, always endeavor to set clear boundaries. Clear boundaries. Don't be too trusting. Like, oh, a recruitment agency has said, oh, he's okay, she's okay, and that means the person is 100% trustworthy, and the person can have access to my bedroom and my safe. No, set boundaries. Let them know these are places you can't get to, and this is the time you have to complete whatever you have to do in this particular space. So set boundaries, and don't give them too much expectations. They should know that they are domestic staff. They are not part of the family. They should know their limits and limitations, and that would help you to avoid running into troubles. And also, your personal information and your valuables should be kept valuable by keeping them away from these people. So if you have a safe, don't be too lazy and say, oh, go and get my trinket from my safe and the code is 1234. Don't be that lazy. Let it remain valuable. And also, I would suggest that you monitor their performance. Performance evaluation. Monitor it, and the moment you see that their performance is not up to par, it's a red flag. It's a red flag. People who are not up and doing, most times get fed up and leave, but they don't leave alone. They live with your valuables. They wait for that day when you're not at home. So monitor performance, and the moment you see that they're not doing well, you might start thinking of replacing them. Also, try to communicate with your staff. Relate with them. By relating, you will discover one or two things. there could be some slips, or they could tell you about that's how Uncle blah 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 came to borrow sugar the other day you were not at home, and you would know that, oh, she has started relating with Uncle blah 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 who has a reputation for blah blah blah. So communicate with them. Do not treat them as slaves. Let them be expressive. Let them tell you their reservations or their complaints, and because some of these things, if they are not well attended to, it brings up indignation in them, and that could result in their decision to hurt you. We've arrested some people that hurt their bosses, that killed their bosses, and when they tell you it's for something as trivial as, I told her to give me 1 day off to go and see my sick mom, and she said no, and they decided to kill the person. So communicate, listen to them, and also try to educate members of your family. Do not let your children think, oh, these people are to be trusted 100%. I'm not saying you can't trust, but still, you are getting to know them. They are domestic staff. It's not like they've spent 10 years with you. Even if they have, you still need to keep an eye on them. So educate your family members to also be security conscious, the same way you are security conscious. And when trying to employ these people, I remember I talked about doing a background check. Also let them know that you are keeping their documentation. So for example, you collect their NIN slip. Don't just say, oh, let me see your NIN slip. Oh, you have NIN. Okay, that's fine. And you return it and you say, oh, you can work with me. No. Let them know that, oh, I've opened a file. I've kept your NIN slip. I've kept your passport data page. I've kept the photocopy of your guarantor's ID card. Let them know you have these things, so that they would always remember that, oh, once I commit a crime and run away, they have my information with them. So make it known, not surreptitiously. Let them know, I have this. It keeps them in check too. And one thing that is often overlooked is surveillance equipment, particularly CCTV. If you can, have CCTV all over your house, all over. And it shouldn't just be something you put there to catch somebody. It should be there to deter them. Let them know. You don't want to watch CCTV of somebody molesting your child. You want CCTV to stop them from molesting your child. So let them know it works. Let them know, or even if I'm in the office, I can watch you from the office, and have them in strategic places, corridors, back doors, backyard, like that, so that it will help in case something happens. It has actually helped us to crack so many crimes, so many. We just go back, watch the CCTV, and we'll see what really transpired. So in addition to whatever you do to get domestic staff, I know it's about domestic staff, but in addition to all of that, try to have CCTV, and know the people your domestic staff are moving with. It's your business. You don't say, oh, it's not my business, it's their private life. It's your business. Know who they are moving with. Because the moment they start moving with bad people, then the tendency is high that they will bring those bad people into your house. And those bad people would be the ones to do bad things in your house. Then irrespective of the fact that you have domestic staff, if you have a job that requires secrecy for one reason or the other, very sensitive jobs in your house, peradventure you have a safe that your domestic staff does not even know you have under your bed in your bedroom, and for one reason or the other you want to work on that safe, maybe you want to replace it, you want to take it out while you repaint the background and put it back, don't use your domestic staff. It's very recommended you don't. For such jobs, get should I say ad hoc staff, just a temporary staff. Go and bring somebody from far away. You live in First Avenue, go and look for a workman in 20th Avenue to come and help you move this safe, and just go, just temporary. So if you have high sensitive jobs to do, don't use your regular domestic staff. The less they know about you, the better for you. So let somebody come from out there to do this and go, and it's just one off. And above all, report suspicious activities. report suspicious activities. I'll use an example. It's not about domestic staff, but there was this Abdul Mutalab that attempted to blow up an airline, and the father's saving grace was that the father had discovered some radical behavior, and he quickly went to the U.S. Embassy to let them know before the boy misbehaved. So it came in handy. The father was exonerated. He wasn't seen as encouraging bad behavior. So for you to, the moment you see something suspicious in your domestic staff, reach out to the police. At least let it be on record, so that the day they misbehave, it won't be suspected that maybe you gave tacit encouragement to their bad behavior. And if you could do all of this, there could be many more, but those are the ones I can think of now. So if you could do all of these, you are pretty safe. The likelihood of you running into trouble with your domestic staff will be very, very little. And security is everyone's business. The police will continue to play its part, but the employer of labor too should do due diligence, and everything would come out fine.